In this video, we talk about how to use Magenta Trading Software to give an update on some of the stocks that we have analyzed previously and talk about some new stocks. So let's get started. Now, the Magenta software, for those who might not know, is simply a technical analysis interpretation software. What that means is that it takes the important technical analysis data, because there's a lot of technical analysis out there, but some of them are more useful than others. Magenta Trader goes in and looks at the ones that are important, and it puts it all together, does all the analysis for you, then comes out and lets you know in easy to read words what action you should take each and every day. So Novavax, back when we were talking about it, was on this day when we were analyzing each and every day what to do while this rallied up. Since the last time we talked about it, based on what technical analysis was telling us, the interpretation software just simply said the action we needed to take for that day was to place a stop. All you had to do was come to the end of that candle and place a stop at the low of that red candle there. It was telling us the condition was weak, but it only gave us one trade action. It wasn't telling us to buy. It wasn't telling us to add to anything. It wasn't telling us to sell. It wasn't telling us to panic. All it said is, based on technical analysis data that's important, the only trade action that needs to be done with this stock on this particular day was to place a stop. The very next day, the stock rallied higher. It just said, place a stop. The day after that, it said, place a stop. After that, it said hold and wait, meaning don't do anything. You don't even have to adjust your stops. Just leave it exactly where it was from the last time. But the cool thing about this is it's not telling us to buy or sell. It just says hold on and hold on. Right now, it's a market condition is not very strong to the bullish side. It's not very strong to the bearish side. But at this point in time, just hold on to your positions. Now, the reason why you see over here where it says trade action and it said trade action is hold/wait. The wait is basically if you're not in the trade, then wait. Don't buy, don't jump in. And the whole idea is to prevent people from having to chase a stock. That's what this is doing. If you were already in because you have been using the software to tell when to get in early, you would have been sitting back, just holding on to your trade rather than trying to sell too early because you don't know what's going to happen. But now that we have a software that has the algorithms to read the important technical analysis, it's letting us know just stay in and hold on to your trade, hold on to your position. The very next day, where most people would have been panicking, oh my gosh, we've seen too many red candles, it's time to sell. Let's go ahead and place our stops. Notice that the stop before was down here and you didn't get stopped out over there. And even on this day, you still didn't get stopped out. And what it's telling you to do on this day is hold on to the trade, don't do anything. And then most recently, same thing, just hold on to the trade. So this is a stock whereby from the time that it first recommended getting in down here to now, it would have been a really good trade without having to guess, hope, or wish. But each and every day, the trade action would have helped us. Now, you can go back and watch the beginning of this analysis that we did to analyze what happened throughout this section. I will leave a link in the description of this video, so you can just go and click on that and watch that analysis. Now, one of the other stocks we also talked about was this stock right here, Incyte Corp. And again, it was a stock that we were analyzing using the Magenta software. At the time, we ended somewhere around here. But since that day, what we have seen is that the market the very next day said hold, don't add to your position. Because when does most people try to jump into a trade? After they see the big move. The setup was way back here. Most people would try to jump in after they see the result. We don't want to be chasing the results. We want to get in at the earliest time possible. But Magenta was just saying, hold on to your trades if you're already in. If you're not in, wait. The very next day, the same thing. The very next day, the same thing. Now, this is where some people might start panicking. Oh my gosh, the trade has gone so far. We should sell before something bad happens. But technical analysis has a way of guiding you through the process so that you don't have to make unnecessary conclusions. The very next day we had a red candle, and this is where people would start panicking and say, let's start selling. We've had a lower low based on what we're seeing right here. We have a lower low there and a lower high. It's a red candle. It's time to start selling everything. The interpretation of all the technical analysis on that day was simply don't sell, don't buy. If anything, just place a stop. Yes, we acknowledge that the condition of the stock is getting weak. However, just place a stop. What would have happened the next day? You would not have been stopped out. And it just says move your stop. That's why it's saying place a stop again. So if your stop was on this previous candle, you move your stop to the bottom of this candle. And then the next day it says just hold on to it. This is not time to be buying. A lot of people will try to buy a breakout and find out that, oh wow, it didn't work out. But all this is doing is saying don't get into risky positions. Try to get into trades early on so that you can manage it successfully. The very next day, it's saying hold on, and those who have been getting in, or those who were in when it first gave them the alert to get in down there, will still be holding in till today. And as we can see here, it's still just saying hold on to your trade, don't sell it, don't place a stop, and you don't need to be buying anything now. Anybody going here and trying to buy right now is just simply chasing a stock. The beauty of understanding technical analysis, which you don't even have to do anymore because Magenta does all the analysis for you and just lets you know what to do each and every day, is that you don't have to guess anymore. Clorox. And again, I'll leave a different link for Clorox below because this was analysis we did a little while back, I think on April 6th, where we were talking about how Clorox in this corona-filled environment was just logical common sense of a stock to want to own. At the time that we were analyzing Clorox, it was around this candle right here. At that time, what technical analysis was telling us through Magenta was to buy Clorox. Now, this was during a period of time, a lot of people were wondering whether or not we've hit the bottom. A lot of people said this was a fake rally. A lot of people were saying this rally is not going to go higher. A lot of people were saying expect a second leg of another crash. But the technical analysis data, the ones that matters, that really tells you what's going on, was saying actually you want to be buying this stock. How do we know? Because on the day that that happened, we could see that this condition was strong, and it was a strong recommendation to start buying. Following that information, the very next day, there's still more buying taking place for this stock. Then we had a red candle, which would have spooked a lot of people, especially if the sentiment around was it was going to be bearish, bearish, bearish. What we have here is saying, actually, you want to be buying more. And then the very next candle, it lets you know enough buying, meaning that if you didn't get in back here, and you didn't get in back here, you didn't get in through all this time, it's too late to try to chase this now. After that, sit back and let this stock do what it's doing, which is continue to rally higher. Anybody that starts buying from here on out are probably taking a bigger risk than the people who bought way down here. Notice how price was almost kind of consolidating during this whole period of time. And while it was doing this, most people will tell you in hindsight, oh, that was accumulation. Or if it was going down, it was, oh, that was distribution. But the beauty of this was during that whole time when all this was happening, it was recommending buy, buy, buy. This should have told anybody that while this was saying buy and it was going sideways, it was accumulation taking place. It is no wonder why the stock started going higher. Now, most people will wait until the breakout takes place and put themselves at more risk, which is unnecessary because we don't have to take these unnecessary risks simply because we want to get in when it's telling us to buy rather than when it's too late and everybody's chasing after the stock.